Give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakadar. Do my honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. They labor night and day to make sure that we get this truth. It's 100% true. Salutations and blessings and safety to all the hopeful elect, the 1/3, the 144,000, the Akim and the Aqua. And all peace and safety and blessings to all Great Millstone GMS. Shalom. Well, it's a little bit of traffic this morning, as you can see. So I said, man, it came on upon me just to go right ahead and talk about what's on my mind. And what's on my mind is knowing that we have to deal with this enemy that's at hand. And this enemy at hand just happens to be, and you know who he is, it's the Edomites. And they're looking for all type of ways to have us to be looked down upon. And when we out here trying to teach this truth, people are trying to physically attack us. So we have to be on guard. We gotta walk circumspect. Most definitely have to walk circumspect. And the MOTB in the UK, they rolling out their digital ID, which I don't know what that consists of, but just know that it's a digital ID card. You know, so it's not going inside the body. It's just digital ID. So that's a good thing, that it's not going in the body. So we got just a little bit more time to prepare for the destruction of the world. Now, it's immigration laws going throughout the whole earth. Over in the UK, England, United States, a little bit in Australia that had some over the years. So, but Australia, you know, is isolated, but Australia is huge. Australia is very huge. You know, a lot of people think Australia is not big, but it's huge. But it's mostly like a British, you know, ran organization. Well, even that, with that being said, we have to be on point for the MOTB, because when that is passed out, everything's going to be digital. And I believe, for what I believe, but it's also scripturally, that these Edomites, they're going to try to pull a lot of false flags, because that's what they've been doing. The lady that got stabbed on the metro, well, you seen how that video went. You know, it ain't talking too much talks about it. It reminds me of the time when that white girl stabbed a Nigerian guy in his own place, and she was an OnlyFans. And ain't too much talking about that happened with that. That happened. And she got off with the murder out of saying it was self-defense. But now the family is trying to claim, trying to get the money basically out of that family. And they most likely are going to be negative to get that, because if she wasn't even found guilty on the murder that murdered that young Nigerian man, it shows you how it most likely going to be with the civil case. You know, and saying that she was nothing but a whore, because she had OnlyFans. This dude knew how to The dude knew how to move money around. And since he knew how to move money around, she basically was jealous of that. And he knew that she had an OnlyFans. But, hey man, I know they say, it's okay to be with Becky. Me myself personally, I prefer, staying where I'm at. Because you always got to watch out for the setups that can happen. And the setups are real. Very, very real. So, just got to be careful. Look at these nice fringes right here. So, yeah. We all got to be expecting that MOTB when it hits. That's when the separation is really going to start. Especially for those that got family and children. It's going to start. People are going to start talking down upon us. Everybody's going to be tested in their own individual way. So we have to be ready for that. And lined up for that. And I think about the Bible when it says that if it tarries, basically if it takes longer than what it should, you gotta wait for it. And when I think about that verse, to me it tells me it will tarry. Because why would it not be there? To have that provision there is that that hey, it's a possibility you might be waiting a little bit. Who knows how long that wait? That wait is a test. Just like it says that, hey, hope that when it comes, it doesn't come on the Sabbath. Most likely, it can come on the Sabbath. A day when you rested. In so many words. It don't necessarily have to come on the Sabbath. But it could come on a day when you rested. A day after work. A day that you have off. It could come on a day that we are at camp. It could. So we just have to be ready for that. And ready to move the right way. So we just have to keep our eyes open for the nonsense. But I'm going to have to pretty much end this call. My battery going dead. I got to charge it when I get to work. So, that's what I want to say to all the Akim and all the Aqua. Keep your prayers every day, as much as you can, to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Rakakadash. And pray for the elders, the apostles, the bishops, the brethren, who do their very best to spread this word. Whether they may seem mighty or whether they seem meek. And the reason why I say it like that, because you got brothers that are being watched heavily on YouTube. They got a large following. And then you got brothers that got a small following. But that does not mean that the brothers that got a small following ain't capturing up those last few second elect. Because you never know. The thing is, don't be so quick to say who should be first and who should be last. Yes, we do 100% have a hierarchy, which who will be first and who will be second. But that will be accordingly to their lot. And only Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, knows that. So don't think that someone that just might be coming in might not be someone that could be high. Because it's Yahweh is the one who says who's high and who's low. Because when you think about King David, and you think about when they was picking through Jesse, and they looked at the sons, they looked at King David's brother. They said that he was tall, a big man. But the father knew his ways and knew how he was and did not pick him. So that's something that needs to be thought about. He did not pick the older brother, but he did pick David, and David is like a mere boy. So it's those that you might see to be least in your camp, the Father knows the heart, and the Father knows who that person can really, really be, who they really, really are. That person might not say much. It might not be much to you. But that very, very person could be someone that's on high. And when it comes for their time to shine bright, that was the very person that Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shai, had set aside to have that position. And you might say to yourself, how is this person with this position? You never know. Yahweh sets people aside for what he wants. Because if everybody looked at David and looked at David as, who's to say that David was slaying Goliath? Who's to say that David was slaying a bear? Who's to say that David that did adultery would still be the king of Israel? Who's to say this guy that looks like a boy should be ruling over us? So don't think when someone is just coming in these camps that they might not be somebody. Because if I see someone coming in a camp, that is a blessing. That's why the angels rejoice every time when someone comes back into the fold. They clap their hands, they applaud, they're like, yes, the person made it back in. And that's how we should be with newcomers that are coming into this camp, that's coming into GMS. Take them under our wing. Glad that they made it in. Give them that encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Whether they doing something small or doing something great. Whether they talking high or not. You never know. They might be talking small now. But in the kingdom, they can say words that can move mountains and trees. So with that being said, peace and blessings to all GMS, all the brethren, the apostles, and the elders that's in Great Mill Stone, who rule well, who labor night and day, making sure we get this true. May Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shai, watch over them and bless them, and bless their family, and bless their efforts, because they are doing so much to make sure that we have what we need and protect them. Shalom.